This is the new toy I built for myself. This is what I got myself for Christmas, which is a computer. So I could build this. It's a PC running a whole bunch of emulators, and I threw together a front end for it to separate all the games and systems and whatnot. Lots of fun. I've already played quite a few hours, especially on 3DO games, but also The Legend of Mystical Ninja on Super Nintendo, and surprisingly, we played Wimbledon, a tennis game on the Sega Master System. And I found out right after we finished there's Wimbledon 2. I can't wait to play it. Let's just fire that up. Ooh, look at this go! I'm using two wired Xbox 360 controllers for this, which is, for most of the games, entirely doable. For N64, just because the controller on that is such a weird thing, it's not ideal. Also, Sega Genesis for 6-button controller emulation, not ideal, just because you don't have the 6 buttons in a row like a Street Fighter layout on arcade would have. I'm looking for new controllers that have the buttons laid out like that, but nothing's come up in my searches yet that's not unaffordable. So this is a game that I found yesterday. It's called Wimbledon. It's a tennis game, which sounds ridiculous, especially if you know me. Not my thing. But it's a ridiculous amount of fun. Unless you're bad at it. Even if you're bad at it, it's lots of fun. That was all part of my plan. Ugh, it's so fast. Your dude just runs around like a crazy bugger. So I've got music in the background, which is sweet. Can change it. I also have control over jumping up by the letter and down by the letter on the controller, as well as scrolling left and right throughout the emulators. Pretty soon I'm going to incorporate game lists so I can make, like, say, favorites for Sega CD. For example, anyway. And of course, Snatcher is totally going to be on that list. Who can I call? Oh, got on top of that. Here's the computer. It was $200-ish, $184 plus tax and shipping. Came in like a week or so from Newegg. It's refurbished, although it doesn't look it. It was a little dusty inside when I got it. No scratches on the case. The DVD drive, when I first booted the system, was obnoxiously loud, so I ended up just disconnecting the power from it. Other than that, it's worked pretty well. The only downsides are it's got DisplayPort out, which is annoying, because DisplayPort, this is an older model, so the DisplayPort didn't transfer audio from when you use a converter to change it to HDMI, which is unfortunate, but I got around that pretty easily by just using a different input on the TV that had the 1/8" headphone jack on it. So for $200, it's small, which is excellent. You can see it's pretty much 2.5 times the width of a DVD drive. It's a little deeper than it looked in the photos, but not a big deal. Dual core 2.93 gigahertz processor with 4 gigs of RAM. So it's got some horsepower, especially for the money. Eventually I'd like to get it to the point where everything just works and I don't need a keyboard or mouse on it. That would be ideal. But until then, I've got one plugged in the back. I'd like to have 4 controllers eventually going at the same time. I've ordered 4 online, which are just Super Nintendo controllers with USB connectors, but still that's not good enough for games that need analog input. And there's my cat Gordon.